Toss gets to be all the way to the back line. He still has Sacred Hammer, so he's going to be able to back away. Aeon applying a lot of pressure and harass with his Fireball and Searing Torrent. Soul, on the other hand, was able to force Thunder to go all the way back. Remember, this is Thanos, one of the best sideliners as well. You cannot underestimate this hero.
Yeah, once again, Turtle will be going over to EVO's SG side as they keep control over the top side and the river. However, looking down onto the bottom, RSG looking to get some moves onto Pokemon here. It's kind of tough with the Darkening Sync. He's walked up way too far. Aeon trying to get in between them, misses both Fireballs this time. Unstoppable Force. Falsa gets pushed backwards. Searing Torrent for the win. Doesn't connect as well. Brilliance coming on through once again from Pokemon, getting a double kill off of that. PZP looking with the implosion, but it ain't gonna be enough.
Oh man, that was really close as well. It was a good implosion as well, but sadly there was no fallout for it. And Aeon leaving that fight with a lot of satisfaction, drops down his own personal emotes, and just to try to mind game the enemy.
Oh, what a good fight that was. Just overall. Just overall, and now Soul, he has complete control over this top side of the map because of what Resurgence, how many resources they dedicated down on bot side. They continue with the Mountain Chakra as well. Oh my god! Oh my goodness, he is just gone. Where did Uranus go?
Oh man, oh, he went back to space, bro. Come on, he went back to his own planet, Uranus.
He completely destroyed Uranus there. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that kind of damage.
Oh man, but then again, it is a Lunox, so it's a lot of damage. But anyway, Aeon getting ready to re-assist to go towards his team, because bringing out this mid-tier 1 tower will open up the map and allow USSC to really assert even more dominance towards the side here of Resurgence here.
Yep. Once again, it's things have kind of slowed down, and you know, Soul is having the time of his life. Sync cannot deal with this. Soul is too strong, and he has red buff as well. So I don't know how he's going to survive this. He's even popped his Consecration in hopes that he gets away. He's still regenerating. Soul can still leap on him. Once he gets the Molten Sights, he wins. And yeah, that's going to be the solo kill. Looking onto the other side of the map, Resurgence once again getting pushed back in their own jungle. EVOS is just such a threat right now.
As long as EVOS actually already increase and continue asserting this dominance, and EVOS SG might just be able to turn things around, because they're currently in the lead by about 8,000 gold here.
Yep, JPL going pretty deep into the backside here. RSG continuing to just hover around between their tier 1 and tier 2 turrets, but they are losing on the other aspects of the map. The gold, not in their favor. Turtles, can't even think about touching them.
Definitely for sure, and I believe this is going to be their second turtles that's going to be secure on the side of EVOS SG. Towers, 3 in their favor too, and JPL casually just waiting. He's just waiting for a beautiful opportunity as well. He has a Flicker too, but he wants to ensure that Flicker is going to be committed for the very right moment as well. But thank God Jason is playing the chunk inside this game, really slowed things down for EVOS SG, as he was able to clear out the Minions wave with the Meteor Shower from a safe distance.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's a really good observation, because I completely forgot about that. Well, the rest of the team is looking to push on. Oh wait, hold on. Top side, RSG once again. Fossa being taken out. He is just struggling to find his footing in this game.
Oh man, but either way, Sana still in the game. He's also a really great initiator, by the way, but it's just really hard for him to initiate onto the fact that his team doesn't really have enough damage or even sustain to deal with all the damage that's coming up from EVOS SG, who is not only level advantage but items as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, because now they're gonna get greedy with this. Once you hit AK, you can see the glowing wands, immortalities coming out of JPL and Aeon itself. Rest of EVOS are just waiting, buying time until they take all the neutral objectives. They know they're ahead, and they know for a fact Resurgence ain't gonna walk up. No, not again. Looks like he made it out this time. Meteor Shower coming through to clear the way, but that Mountain Chakra is so painful.
Oh man, but honestly, this is the first time I see Lunox just constantly forcing a Uranus out of the lane multiple times. This is really, really shocking to me. But then again, I feel happy because I never liked Uranus. I know you're happy about this too.
Yeah, somewhat. Somewhat. I can't say I am the happiest of all time, but I can definitely say I'm just kind of happy.
By the way, JPL is going to be able to give quite a amount of information towards his team. Don't forget, with the Mountain Shocker as well, EVOS SG pretty much have all the Vision Warfare in their hand and currently in the lead with it as well. Now all that's left is just a beautiful initiation. Singh gonna be tossed all the way back, but he has his Transcendent Ward. But the Syrian Thomas is gonna keep him in his place for a couple of seconds. But with the Consecration, he's gonna be able to regen back really quickly.
Yeah, he's not too entirely worried about this. Potato has been happily farming. Happy Camper just farming all the way. He's level 13 to literally nobody else who can contest him. Arguably Soul, but even then, he's still 2 levels ahead of him.
He's too far behind, but once again, the lead gets even more bigger as well as the Unstoppable Force followed by the Ejector is going to be allowing Soul to easily get his killing spree as he melts down Sana. And now all that's left is just 2 members currently in the mid lane trying to defend this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, these 2 last members coming in from RSG don't stand a chance. They're getting completely zoned out from their tier 2. They need to buy some time, and that's where Singh comes in. He's down on the bottom side. He knows for a fact he could die, and used the Consecration kind of early there, but he didn't get punished for it, so that's fine. Pokemon, as well as Ishin also trying to turn to get this free kill onto Singh.
Here comes Singh, gets surrounded by Pokemon right next to his wall. He's gonna hold out as long as possible. Pops down the Transcendent Ward, but not good enough in the face of Potato with those crits.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation. Oh, Falling Star Moon comes in. Can they get the implosion? They get the initial knockup, and there's the implosion, but he is still sustaining through all 3 members. His ultimate is just spell vamping all of them.
Oh man, the Festival of Blood really making quick word about it as well. So, but just love the fact that he actually just sustained that 1v3 and able to pick out 1 member out of it. That's absolutely crazy. And the best part about it, it was Jason, and Jason was needed to clear all these minion waves. So there's no way for Resurgence to literally defend from the onslaught or even the aggression coming out from EVOS SG currently.
Yeah. This is not looking the greatest of situations, but RSG once again, Pokemon, he's in trouble, but he's able to get some of that Brilliance up to get the heal, as well as the Darkness. He quickly pops that Brilliance just in time. What a fight, and what a statement they are trying to make here for the side of EVOS SG. They still have a couple of minions, and that is going to be Game 2. What a absolute banger of a game.
Dude, that was... Everyone's happy, everyone's high-fiving, literally calling each other out, saying like, great job guys, we did a really great job. But either way, we're going to be passing to our analysis LaFell to tell us exactly what happened.
Oh boy, okay, langsung dah mati. That's pretty good, it's pretty good, it's pretty clean. And untuk semua orang yang tengok Malay punya cast, korang mungkin akan sedikit confused. Sebab kadang-kadang nampak muka saya dekat casting table, I tahu mungkin ramai orang confused, tapi itu sebenarnya bukan saya. That's actually not me, and I can understand the confusion because suara kita orang lebih kurang sama, but seriously, it's not me. So bila diorang cakap 2-1, it's not me. Diorang yang cakap. So you have them to blame, not me. Anyways, kita akan tengok highlight yang dibahas oleh Yudu to see what really happened in the game. And overall dekat sini, all I can say is that EVOS SG, they won every lane. Soul punya lane, dorang menang. Pokemon punya lane, dorang menang. And the thing is, Resurgence, they took the fights that they did not have to take, right? Like, for example, KZP, he wasted so much time waiting in the bush, trying to see what EVOS SG want to do when he didn't help his own team. So, it's more or less Resurgence, they misplayed a lot of things that they wanted to do, and they're like, okay, I kalau pergi ke depan, I mungkin boleh menang ni. As we can see, Sync berapa kali cuba nak 1v2, and it didn't really work out. Disebabkan Lunox, she is really strong. I tak tahu kalau sesiapa lupa, tapi Lunox sebenarnya sangat-sangat kuat. Especially once dia dah hit level 4, dia punya Darkening, it costs a lot of damage. Apa-apa cooldown yang you letak on Lunox, dia akan tukar menjadi penetration. That's strong enough already. Lepas tu bila dah ada Necklace of Durance, apa lagi yang Ruiners boleh buat? And dekat bahagian top lane, 1v2, Soul menang. So, I would say that EVOS SG, mechanically, they stepped up, okay? Atas menang, tengah menang, bawah menang, semua menang. So it's just a basic, it's just a basic example of what will happen kalau you drop semua lane you kalah. Kita tengok itemization. And apa yang kita kena tengok? 19-0. And look at the effect of that is kita tengok JPL selaku tank 007, dia sempat siapkan Athena Shield. Okay, 1 item. In comparison, kita tengok KZP pun dapat siapkan 1 item. Now kita tengok Potato, 2 item, Blade of Despair dan juga Endless Battle over Forza boleh dikatakan sebagai their carry, right? Hanya satu item saja dia siapkan dia punya Calamity Reaper. And kalau nak kirakan dia punya jungle item sebagai item, Potato pun dah siapkan dia punya jungle item. Pokemon dah siapkan 3 item. And overall, kita tengok Jason only siapkan dia punya glowing one. This is the disparity. How can you come back when you punya items is very low and when you punya level pun very low? And this is a situation where EVOS SG is seriously flexing on RSG. EVOS SG, RSG, so many SG. Anyways, EVOS beat RSG. Simple fact, they won every single lane. Soul conquered his lane. Pokemon conquered his lane. And Potato, atas, bawah, everywhere team fight dia akan ada. So that is it for the itemization. We will look at the post-game stats untuk nampak the damage yang dikeluarkan oleh kedua-dua team dekat sini. Goal difference, wow. KDA 19-0-29, RSG 0-19-0 goal. 34,000, RSG 18,000. 9 tower, tak wujud pun 19 tower. 9 tower untuk EVOS and 0 untuk RSG, and of course no Lord was involved in this game. Rich Guy akan diberikan kepada Potato 917 gold per minute. The carry Pokemon 50,000 damage. Sandbag Sing terima paling banyak damage dengan 79,000 damage yang dia absorb. Forgotten One JPL dengan 7 assist sahaja. Tengok damage numbers RSG, tak ada seorang pun lebih 20,000. Yang paling tinggi adalah Esmeralda dengan 16,000. Now kita tengok dekat bahagian EVOS SG. 50,000 untuk Lunox, 40,000 untuk Yi Shin, and 30,000 untuk kita punya Tamus. Very big damage difference dekat sini. Valer as the mid support-ish kind hero 17,000 sahaja, tapi lebih tinggi daripada Esmeralda yang 16,000. So overall dekat sini, EVOS, the first game, diorang baca map dengan bagus, but the draft did not really help them out. RSG, kinda in the same situation where dekat dalam game ni, the draft was really all over the place. They look really strong kalau dalam team fight situation. Tapi untuk team fight tu be effective, diorang kena menang diorang punya lane, dapatkan sedikit berapa objektif, kemudian diorang boleh scale into the team fight phase of the game. If you don't even masuk the team fight punya phase, then it's going to be very difficult. So, sekarang kita akan tengok MVP of the game, which I rasa can go to anyone dekat bahagian EVOS SG. Tapi nampak agaknya Pokemon with Lunox. 22% team goal earned and 5,026 damage per minute. Antara the highest damage per minute yang boleh dikeluarkan. And it happened here dekat playoff. 507 match KDA because no one from EVOS SG died in that game. Itemization, dia siapkan dia punya Clock of Destiny, tetapi dia tak kombokan dengan Lightning Transsion. Dia nak go terus kepada penetration dengan Divine Glyph and of course Nicholas Endurance untuk pastikan tak ada sesiapa yang boleh heal. So even as a damager, dia still ada the discipline untuk cakap, I need to make sure tak ada sesiapa boleh heal dekat side sebelah. So congratulations kepada EVOS SG as well as Pokemon. Honestly, phenomenal. Kita boleh tengok diorang punya performance. But either way, that is the second game. Kita akan terus masuk kepada game ketiga. Selepas ini, we'll be going to the third game series of the day. And it's going to be against the two strongest Singaporean teams, Resurgence and EVOS SG. Whoever is going to win is totally up in the air. I tak nak predict. Although, to be fair, I predict RSG, so maybe it was, I don't know. Anyways, we will go back to the English casters as well as the host in the quickie. So guys, get ready. I'm gonna give it to you guys. And please talk about what will happen in the next game. Guys, take
Thank you so much, LaFell, for such an amazing in-depth analysis of game number 2 between both of the Singaporean Titans, Resurgence, and EVOS SG.
Yeah, I mean, that game, EVOS really showed what they had in store, and that's good because now it's one more game to determine who is going to be moving on and who's going to be knocked down to the lower brackets.
I mean, definitely for sure. And then definitely when we see from both of the drafting as well, right, we can definitely tell like a clear difference of what they were trying to go for.
Yes.
So EVOS still sticking to what they wanted to previously want to try to go for the game from game number 1. The only difference was a swapped out of heroes where at least they have that reassurance of both damage and even that late game. The game should drag that long as well. And on the side here of Resurgence, is full team fight oriented. But then again, they, like Raphael said as well, they have to win the fights. They have to win their own personal lanes because at least that way, when should a fight actually comes down, they will be able to take that fight head on.
And that's where I think, you know, where EVOS really flexed on them, because those small lane mistakes really start to add up. But let's look at the current audience predictions for both sides. Ooh, 1% people.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the previous one was. Was it
80-20.
It was 80-20, so it's 1% difference. So 79 to 21.
Just from one game. So that means how many games does EVOS has to win just to keep at least like a 50-50 margin?
I don't know. I thought people were a little bit more going to be dedicated to EVOS, and I wasn't expecting like such a big skew to begin with at the beginning of the day when we did see the 80% to 20%. But
yeah,
interesting to see. Very interesting to see.
It's really good to see that at least there is some changes, you know, even if
somewhat,
even if it's just one, but it's still something.
I mean, you know, 1% of a million people is still a good amount of people. If you're looking at it that way, there's, you know, silver lining to everything. But besides that, coming into the specific game 3 here, that's what's really getting me tingled here, because I can't figure out where do they go from here for the other side of RSG, because again, it was a lot of individual mistakes that ended up in this situation.
Right.
And those things stacked on one top of another, and EVOS just comes out with a perfect game.
I mean, that for sure. Then I guess it just comes down, especially both of these teams, because both of these teams has, after witnessing the first 2 games as well, they have a very similar aggression, right? Whether depending on what they're going to, depending on what kind of heroes they actually went for their own personal lineup composition, they play by it. Like for example, you see JPL for 2 games picking the Jawhead. After witnessing playing that first game, second game, they adapted. They figure out like, all right, Jawhead can't go in alone. We need a secondary damage dealer, or at least someone that can at least catch up with the Jawhead, follow up with the amount of damage, but at the same time dominate the lanes for themselves here.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. That would be about right. I don't know. I think if, like, let's put ourselves into their shoes.
Right.
Yes, they are dominating that lane, but how do you play this from RSG's side? When yes, they are going to continue. They're going to continue their outstreak, but at a certain point, you have to kind of predetermine yourself to say, hey, we need to either fight back or take a 50-50 at some point, because you can't just kind of leave it at this particular situation.
I mean, it's really difficult for them as well, because like the only thing that comes to mind for them is that, especially with the kind of lineup composition they went for as well, they tell themselves, we just need to farm. We can't really take a fight, especially since we didn't really win our lanes. We just need to keep farming and farming. But if they're farming, the Yisu Shin is also farming. So it's pretty much like they're in a really, it's a really hard situation where they just tell themselves like, we can't bring late game because they have both Lunox and a Yisu Shin. And even if we get really big, we have to catch the Yisu Shin. But even if we catch the Yisu Shin, there are still Pokemon with the Lunox. So it's a really rough one for them. Like if I were to put myself in their shoes, that's just pretty much how I'm feeling. Like I'm like, it's a really hard thing to go for here.
Well, I mean, the next best thing they can do is just change up the draft next time, kind of.
I mean, yeah, like
style
game 3, yes.
Yeah, for game 3 especially, just to kind of like even out the playing field. I suppose. I mean, they still have to worry about individual mistakes at the end of the day, but you know, I think more importantly, it's just the composition that they compositions where they have to really deal with each other a lot better. Something that with a little bit more counter matchups, because this one was just. I mean, I can't even say whether the counter matchups were even in like a big factor, because I felt like even if it was favorable towards RSG, these mistakes are kind of inexcusable.
I mean, because it's not, I wouldn't say really like, okay, yes, there are some careless mistakes that RSG didn't make inside the game here. But I think it's just the fact that EVOS just totally understanding the fact that, all right, we are really great engagers, we are really great at picking up players, and most importantly, we just realized the fact that these guys need to be dominating the lanes, these guys need to farm a lot. Let's just constantly just pick up them one by one, regardless of whether we are losing out in levels or EXP. We still just go for it and just pick them up, and that's pretty much where like fights or skirmishes starts happening all across the maps, and that's when researchers just start realizing like we shouldn't be taking this fight, but we are taking this fight. So it's, why are we doing this?
What's happening? What's going on? Am I in a different dimension?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from, but I really hope that they do decide to draft for early, because I think that's where these 2 teams are really starting to try to take advantage of each other. And I think, you know, other teams who like to play defensively and don't mind playing that extremely dragged style of gameplay, that yes, it can work. It's not like it's an unviable strategy. It's just really uninteractive for the most part. It's just continuous farming, looking to get small advantages.
It's an LY4 thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't even necessarily say that. I just think that if you are dedicated to playing to the late game, you will lose the mid. And you lose the mid game, it's basically over. There is no difference.
That's why I'm liking what EVOS actually went inside this game too, right? You pretty much have that mid game, you have that early game aggression with the Jawhead, you have that mid game with the Lunok, and towards that late game, you already have like that reassurance with that Yusu Shin, which, by the way, Potato did an amazing job just
Oh yeah,
popping up.
he did. He did.
Level 13, that was like, he was literally like
Living life.
Dude, he was like 5 to 7 levels ahead of the rest of the team here.
It's just simply the best. And he was having, yeah, he was really having the time of his life here, and I think they can't let that happen again. I think they need something that really comes up with a composition that really goes head to head against against EVOS if they don't want to be put in that situation where one mistake could really be catastrophic.
That's why I was about to bring up with you as well, like before you mentioned as well. During this game through this next draft thing, they need to go with a mindset where like we need to be able to contest. Like if we are willing to give the Jawhead, we need to be able to pick a playmaker for ourselves to at least contend against this Jawhead. Whether it be like counter engagements or just be able to be even more aggressive like a Troll or Valere for themselves.
We haven't seen Cho in a while, have we?
That's why I'm so surprised. I'm like, hey, you had an option to go for Cho. Both sides, by the way. But they didn't really opt to go for it. So I'm like, is there like a composition that I'm missing or that we are both missing out here?
I mean, it's just a high priority on these mages so far. And I think that, that's the big deal for a lot of these teams.
Maybe too many mages?
I wouldn't say too many mages because, again, a lot of this hack can be, traced back to different inspirations coming up from different MPLs where they have these different it fits their style a little bit more. As we know in the Philippines, they really like to be up in your face, so compositions that are early and plays the style of which, yeah, I can 1v2 at level 1, sure, why not? Things like that. Like, if people make simple mistakes, it's not going to fly there, and neither is it going to fly here, so it's great inspiration, and I think I personally believe that, the early game really does kind of set the tone and pace. There's a lot of teams that might not necessarily scale. However, simple tweaks in the composition can really make sure that you're a jack of all trades and you can still go into the late game.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring up the drafting for game number 3 here between EVOS SG and Resurgence, where it will decide who will be going towards the semifinals and who is going to be going towards that lower bracket here. And EVOS SG, once again, starting on the blue side, they have first pick and first ban, and starting with the very same ban which they have been doing for all 3 games, it will be the Natalia.
Natalia in as well as the Farsa this time. Nothing too different, nothing out of the ordinary. Resurgence going to be banning out the Selena here. Next is going to be Marat. Okay, yup, alright.
Standard.
Checking the boxes. Now, what is it going to be for the side of EVOS SG? Is it going to still, going to be the Black Dragon himself, or is it going to be something else?
I think they will still go for the Yuzhong ban here, because there's no real reason as well. Because noticing the fact that it's still going to be for Sana LY4, so I'm pretty sure they're still.
What's the difference? Sana is going to be the one playing it.
Yeah, I know exactly, right. So it's just pretty much like, all right, okay. So this time the only difference this time is they're going to be banning out the Esmeralda for themselves. Does that mean they're going to be opting to get for the Yuzhong, or they're just going to let it go with full confidence of the fact that Resurgence would not pick this Yuzhong?
I'm not entirely sure, because banning out Esmeralda in a position like this is kind of telling me that they don't want to deal. They don't want to deal with people who can steal away shields. So Harith is on the table, Uranus is on the table, Cho is on the table. Kagura arguably is on the table as well.
I'll just leave it as arguably, alright.
That one, it's compared to like the many different types of secondary characters coming in from the mage section. Like, all right, fair enough.
Hilda,
all right.
I mean, I wouldn't say like it's like a direct counter for sure, but then again, if EVOS actually wants to go with that aggressive play alongside with the Jawhead, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yes, that would be a pretty. I mean, it's an option for sure. But again, still too many diverging paths. The general consensus is looking to kind of just not have to deal with anybody's. Not to break our shields.
Yeah. But so the thing is, do they want to lock down this Uranus, or do they want to lock down this Yushin just for good measures?
EVOS does have first pick. It feels like they've set up for. I mean, they could still go for the Khalid, and then after that pick up the Uranus. Oh no, they're just going to give Yuzhong away. It looks like they're opening up the gates here. So Resurgence, they could look to pick up the Uranus as well as the Khalid for themselves.
Khalid against the Yuzhong's definitely not going to have the fun time. But the fact that, it's not about the laning phase in this case. It's just more about his entire kit towards all of that in the entirety of the team fights as well, able to get towards that back line. The disruption will be a huge nuisance as well. Ooh, but because they let the usage in away, Forsyth is gonna lock it down for himself.
Huh, interesting. So they would rather give a Thamos. They would rather select a Thamos rather than taking Khalid or Uranus into the Yuzong, or potentially, you know, a Yuzong Khalid coming in from EVOS SG. That's quite an interesting take for sure.
No, because then I'm only assuming the fact that this time with this lineup as well, they just want to fight as much as possible because they're already anticipating the fact that after seeing the Yutong, they know the Jawhead will be being picked again, so they're gonna go with a lineup where we're not gonna go for split push or anything. We're gonna ensure Forsyth's gonna be farming, and the four of us will be clashing or at least trying to slow things down as well for themselves.
Then why would you go for Thamos in that case?
Because like in this case, Thamos can do relative compared to the Khalid. I mean, yeah, sure, Khalid's ultimate is a sort of like a team-based team fight skill, but it's a skill that's very easily dodged.
I suppose. I don't know. This is a bit of a tough one. I feel like it's more preference than anything else.
It's like, okay, in this case, like besides comparing between both stats between both Thamos and Khalid, right? Both is able to sustain in their own way. But I guess in this case, Thamos doesn't really get disrupted while he's sustaining because he just naturally just spell vamps with a Festival of Blood, whereas Khalid with his Quicksand Guard can easily be disrupted by 2 people already here.
Fair. I mean, that is a pretty good point. Yeah. No, I can. Yeah. I definitely can see it from that angle too. All right. So what does that mean for EVOS SG here? Because now that the Moxia has been locked in, they're getting rid of the Veil, getting rid of the Ling, getting rid of the Valir here. EVOS SG on the other side, what do they need to actually deal with a composition like this? Because again, 2 people are going to get significantly affected by Boxia's ult, the Tortoise Poissons. The negation of healing is kind of a bummer for sure, but they still don't have something that scales.
No, honestly, if you're asking me right now, like if they just want to play it very safe, like super safe right now, they can either go for the Cloud or both the carry here to really just deal with this marksman versus marksman for themselves, because just seeing the fact that there's the Yisoshi and the Boxer as well, they're just gonna just turtle down, literally just turtle things down here.
Yeah, and they also get rid of the Lunox as well, so now running out of options in terms of the mages section.
Oh, there's still a Chang'e in the game.
Oh yeah, there is still Chang'e, but do they really want to play it, especially when you have something like Yuzong here? You've got something like Jawhead, both of which are actually natural ways to actually deal with it. Ooh, instead they go for the Angela instead.
That's a really great one too.
Huh, alright, okay.
It's really great because not only are you able to really control in the majority inside that team fight, you're able to allow Yisoshi or anyone in the team to really just sustain and survive for as long as possible here.
I feel like this is almost a perfect game for EVOS to actually bring out the Eudora, the Eudora, and then pair it up with like a Harith or something like that.
Actually, you're not wrong. They can actually just go for it right now if they want to, actually.
They decided to go for the carry, that's fine, but also with the Eudora. Alright, so I was wrong about which hyper carry it is, but at least I got the Eudora on lock.
Yeah, you got the Eudora, I got the carry, you know, so it's like heart shapes. Can you fill out my other heart there?
No, stop it. Stop it, Leonard. Stop it, Leonard.
We're 2 sides of the same coin.
Stop showing your fingers at me. Nobody can see this.
Yes, they can. LaFell sees it.
Oh, but now it comes to the last pick coming in for Resurgence to kind of just figure out their composition here.
They need a jungler. Or in this case, not a controller, but in this case, they're going to go with the Ruby, which I think is really great.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be such a weird game.
This is literally, okay, I'm looking at like a straight up either a very hardcore mid game or just like an epic late game battle.
I mean, the late game is not gonna go as well as most people think it's gonna go.
It's not gonna go, yes. It's not gonna go as well as you guys think.
Yeah, because again, Angela is gonna be able to keep Ishinshin alive for a lot longer, but the amount of CC coming in, especially like, it's a tough sell. It's a really tough sell.
Like, okay, like if we're comparing late game, I'm already assuming like freaking Uranus is gonna be split pushing towards that late game the entire time or cutting creep waves, never dying, never ending. The other team is just gonna be trying to sustain and keep Forsyth alive as possible. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 3, the last game between both of these amazing titans. They have been showing us an amazing performance, phenomenal performance by far. Who's gonna be taking the top spot here, going to the semi-finals against Toda? please comment down in the comment section below. Our Facebook social media tag is going to be at MPL-MYSG, and our Instagram tag is going to be at MPL.MYSG.official. You also can check us out on EGG Network and Astro Arena for all of your MLBB action. And of course, do give us some love and support for the BM stream side, because Ikato and Karakuri has been doing a really great job as well.
Yeah, they really have been. And now, I mean, this game has been is going to be taking some time here, but EVOS SG, I feel, after you were doing your read, I was giving some real thought into this.
Yeah.
Their early game is significantly stronger.
Yes.
Significantly. Just with Jawhead alone, this is going to put RSG in a rather weird spot, because they're hoping that Thamus is going to be able to hold the lane by himself. If he crumbles, this game is going to be a huge problem for them.
Then that's why, no, the thing is, I wanted to mention that with the Jawhead, they have really great strengths in that early game. But then after that, I think about it, I'm like, wait, you have Uranus, you have the rest of the team as well. Then it's very difficult for you to really get a hold of who you want to really jump for, because remember, you jump on any of the heroes as well. They control you, they lock you down, and that's pretty much the end of you. They don't really have as much early burst as we were all really hoping for. I mean, yes, you have the Dragon Tail and everything else, but that's if you're all really sticking up for it.
Yeah. No, I think at this point in time, it just comes down to, like, what can you do? Like, how do you affect the side lanes, right? Because you're going to be looking to fight for control in the mid side. You already have the Eudora for the most part of it. Don't worry, we're not done with the BM side. We're just, showing that it does exist and then come back to us.
Yeah.
And
beautiful people, by the way.
Beautiful people. Angela can hold her own. Like, especially in one of the side lanes.
Correct.
And it feels weird to send her back into the mid lane to kind of fight for that mid lane control, because she can really just kind of just sit there in the side. But then it gives EVOS a bunch of options. It's either I'm going to be looking to punish either Thamos or Angela, one or the other pre-level 4.
No, that means in this case, JPL playstyle will be trying to deny any of the opposing buff, RSG buff in this case, or will he just be camping towards the top side? Because we saw exactly in the second game, I believe, he was actually just camping in that side bush the entire time.
Yeah, that's the thing, where it's like you're trying to affect the side laners matchup as much as you can, and we're talking about a Yuzong into potentially a Thamos, not the greatest of matchups, and I'm assuming that, Sol is going to be able to land all of his abilities, so even a simple gank of just walking up, smart missling him and losing at least a quarter of his life will put him in a favorable position.
No, that's the thing, right? I'm just trying to predict it. Okay, we saw a Baxi on the side here of RSG as well, right?
Yes.
So now, just think about it as well. Is it going to be a KGP Baxi or not?
Probably.
If it's KCP Boxer, that means I'm already assuming that he might just potentially just camp the same brush, or okay, not the same brush, a different brush, but for the same lane. Same goes for JPL. Like, they're both going to be able to really support that lane, because literally, whether it's that matchup between Yuzong and Thamos really dictates on who's going to be able to dominate that lane for sure.
Ah, man, I don't know.
It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell because EVOS has a lot of different ways to kind of attack RSG's composition on the map itself. It's kind of the direction they need to go with. But at the end of the day, one of these side lanes is going to get punished.
Yeah.
And I think there's no going around that. And I'm thinking if there are any other nuances that are important, like whether buff takes are going to be important for either one of these. And I don't think so, at the very least, because they can still do the blade buff if they wanted to. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing something here.
No, you're not missing anything at all, because I'm like scratching my head all over the place, and I'm also thinking the fact that they could have at least went for something else, but there's this game 3, this drafting in particular, is just pretty much like after they first two picks their heroes, right? It's pretty much just counter picking after that, because literally the reason why they last picked the box here after the first pick phase, that third hero, was mainly not only just to ensure that Thamos doesn't really get countered, but also to counter out that Uranus at the same time. So I'm pretty sure KCP, in this case, he was just like, yeah, I know, I'll help you out. I won't pick what I'm comfortable with, but like, I'll just help you out, that kind of thing.
I'm just gonna be there.
Yeah, because I already can see KCP's reaction. It's like, yeah, he counters you. But if I pick him, I also counter them. Yeah, it works. I'll pick it.
All right, looks like it's time for us to get into game. Talk about perfect timing here as we go over to the third game to determine who is going to be staying in the upper brackets and who is going down to the lower.
Oh man, it's going to be a really epic battle as well, because this is the last game. I feel like we're casting the grand finals as it is, but and it's only the second game or the second match of Dynamo, one of the players. But either way, seeing the matchup, KZP is going to be babysitting Forza inside this middle lane. Potato going to be alongside with Aeon, and our dear friend Jason going to be roaming around with that Angela. And I just love the fact that JPL is actually just going to be sitting inside that jungle.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Ah, they didn't get the Lethal Wanderer. Unfortunately, Potato was able to smite that just in time. But yeah, once again, the matchups are seemingly... Oh, that was close. Nearly stealing that as well. But okay, great pathing from EVOS. They made sure they're at 100% efficiency. Sana trying to get some information on where everybody is exactly. Aeon still level 1.
I mean, yeah, definitely for sure. But at the same time, love what JPL was actually doing as well, because fully understanding the fact that Jawhead, it can be a really great jungler as well with the smart missile. So what he did was he actually just did a lot, significant amount, like bring down the HP of that red buff. So at least this way, it just saves a lot of time for Potato. All he has to do is just take the red, finish it off, and go back to the other buffs or go to this side lane. This is going to be allowing him to spike that level a little bit more faster compared to usual. But Pokemon taking a lot of much damage as he gets gone on the top. Here comes the pump on the street coming out for Jason. But then again, he has the Dragon Tail and it's passive, so he's able to sustain for quite a while. Force Blood is going to be drawn and taken away by Resurgence, but JPL looking to try to trade things off. But with the Molten Size and the Shield of Spirit, he's going to slow it down. And with the Molten Doctor, he's going to be able to follow up with the rest of the team and secure another kill for Resurgence.
They just forgot about the Mountain Shocker. They were forgetting about the timings of when Forza was going to hit level 4, and unfortunately, that's going to bite them right in the back. Pokemon, he walked up a little too far. Like, the angle of which he went in, not exactly the smartest as well. However, he got punished, but the rest of his team were focusing more on getting the buff rather than continuing the fight. Because if it did break out to a full-on fight, I don't necessarily think they could have won there. So, well played coming in from RSG.
Really well played indeed. At the same time, going back to the bottom lane, try to cut down this big man Soul all the way down using I'm Offended, but then again, Soul's going to be able to pop up the concentration and just nicely out of the range, we'll be able to break down that attachment coming from the puppet on the string.
Yep. Mountain Shocker coming out once again. Sing is going to get a good push, but look at the mid lane here. KZP, ooh, in trouble. Even drops down the Turquoise Poisons just in case.
And he, at the same time, he has to be really careful as well, because remember, this is carry. Ooh, that, I love that snipe. It almost denied that TP, literally slowing things down, buying even more time. But unfortunately, he would not be able to connect here.
Yep. They're just playing their time here. But once again, the neutral objectives are back up. RSG already on top of Turtle here. And EVOS, they're not contesting. They're looking to go down towards the bottom side to try and punish the one person who has a global ultimate, and that's going to be Angela. And now Jason, he's on the run. He realizes what's going on. He gets stunned and instantly popped by Aeon this time round. Nicely done from EVOS, but they trade a Turtle for Jason's life.
Potentially maybe might be more as well, because with the Mountain Shocker, beautiful amount of vision given as well. And sadly, Pokemon definitely not having a fun time against the damage inside this top lane, as Sana already coming into the counter. Inferno is going to be able to burn Pokemon out of the lane here. Definitely not chase him out, but now Pokemon just have to fall back.
Yep. Some really good zoning coming in from Zana here. He's a level up. There's nothing much that Pokemon can do. And now KZP, he's running in hard with Angela on his back. They can't seem to go any further than this. Sync as well. It's a 3v4 situation, but no one's really getting as much damage as they want to in. EVOS just saying, you know what? This ain't worth it. This ain't worth our time. Let's look for another fight elsewhere.
Definitely for sure. And now Singh gonna be going back to this 1v1 against Soul, so it's gotta be a little bit more careful as well. But here comes, don't run away, Wolf King as well, and Be Good. Gonna be doing quite a significant amount of damage. But remember, this is Uranus. He hasn't even popped. He hasn't even popped the consecration, and he's still able to regen back naturally. Singh, no choice, probably out to heal, regen, gonna be able to heal up, and Forza coming into the Mountain Shocker just to give a little bit of information towards his whole team.
Yeah, Singh just tried to go for the I'm Offended into Flicker combination to kind of get that good old yank. Oh no! Jason, unfortunately, getting one shot once again by all three members coming in with EVOS and SG in the mid lane, but they break bottom tier 1. Oh, mid tier 1 wasn't destroyed. KZP was able to kind of clear off the last few minions.
Dude, it's really well played stuff, right? With the line of composition that recently really comes to the game, at least in this way, they're able to clash back and forth. But EVOS SG able to retaliate back, fully understanding the fact that, sure, I was not able to back up Pokemon in that side lanes, but at least we'll be able to punish down Jason, who cannot able to escape with that global. But here comes the global coming in from Angela with the hard gun. But sadly, the hard gun is not going to be enough. And this might be a potential 1-for-2 because KZP is able to roll into the mix here to re-assist Jason.
Oh, that is rough. That is very rough. You can see that he's just desperately just tapping the love taps and, like, in the hopes that he would survive. Turtle now taken away by RSG side. Looks like this game is going to be a lot more even than we would have expected it to be.
I mean, definitely for sure, because every time, remember, EVOS SG is only bursting down Jason because Jason has the only one with the global presence, and remember, he cannot really escape at all. And Resurgent, on the other hand, our dear friend Forza, with the usage, he's going to be able to farm out as much as possible.
Yep, KZP taking way too much damage here, but the Revitalize buys him just enough time to take full rotations of spells. Sync now in trouble, goes down over to Yusong as Fossa once again has to drop down that mountain trucker. They're hoping, but he gets ejected backwards. EVOS SG can't seem to get the angle in this area. There's nothing they can do there. Forced to back away. Jason once more, if he gets caught by any form of CC, he is goner.
Doing really well played. EVOS SG applying even more aggression. The best part about it, they still have the soul, just concentration did pop up, followed by the unstoppable force as well, but Sally Sana trading things out, melting down the Eudora. Here comes the ejector, but he already pops up the ultimate, burning him down. The hard guard maintaining him. Pokemon popping out the Black Dragon transformer just in the nick of time, allowing him to just escape from that perilous situation.
Yep, they're jumping in pretty hard. Jason, all three members are on top of Potato, and there goes their carry. Now, starting off with a perfect score of 3-0 and 2, now 3-1 and 2. Well done for RSG. Looking to fight back. This is looking more like game one.
Now it's looking a little bit more clean here. But ooh, here comes Amofena. He pulls Soul all the way under the tower. It doesn't matter if you have consecration. You're going to be blasted down to heaven, baby.
Nicely done, nicely done. RSG kicking in it hard, but JPL, Pokemon, and Aeon are looking to rotate to make something happen here. Aeon, he's got to be careful. Oh, he quickly flickers out of the way. Mid-tier 1 is going to be going down here, and RSG will take the lead in terms of gold.
No, I love it. Trades happening all across the map. If one person gets picked off, each of his team will ensure they get that equivalent trade. And JPL still trying to find that opening, find Sing, but that's not what he wants to really go for. But unfortunately, Forza enters the bush and he has lost sight of his main target. Coming down, unstoppable force, Marcel is not going to be enough as our dear friend Sing pulls him all the way back as he was offended with JPL's engagement.
Yep, that's going to be a 1-for-0 trade, but Pokemon on the back line. He's trying to get Fossa.
Oh no,
he's pulling Fossa around. Soul, he sees an opportunity, but now they need to ensure they get the most bang for buck, and they secure the kill onto Ruby. But look on the top side, nobody has stopped Sana from pushing it all the way in, forcing JPL to respond. Now the tides are sort of evening it out, and they're playing it slow and steady to ensure they get maximum damage, but that's going to be Jason going down over to Soul off of a single CC coming in from Aeon.
Really well played, but then again, at the same time, Resurgent was, or Jason in this case, was totally fine giving him his life for it as well, because because he already did his job, he already committed his ultimate, committed a majority of his spells, he just needs to ensure that the main core members or main damage dealers will be able to maintain and stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, what initially was, I was thinking that Resurgence was going to start snowballing off of that one effect. It looks like EVOS is willing to fight just as hard. It's 23.3k to 23.6k, only a 0.3k difference, and that's considering how many towers they've lost, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad at all, but then again, Sana gonna be really careful as well because he's currently alone, but the rest of the team is just trying to back him up. I love JPL. He's trying to hold down the line as long as possible, trying to delay their rotation to see if they're able to save his teammate, and as the rest of the team will slowly disengage and fall back.
Yeah. They're going to be pushed in here. Soul versus Sync once again, but Sync knows he's getting close, but he's pretty sure that his ult is going to come back up soon, and that just means that she just has to buy her time. EVOS looking to trying to fight into mid-river here. RSG playing it slow. KZP looking to hold his ground, but Sync, he's still in trouble. Potato should be able to pick up this kill on top of him. Is he going to get it at the top? She's still surviving with all that spell vamp. Wow.
That's Ruby for you as well. Just constantly just healing, regenerating, and spell vamping all the way. But remember, what's really amazing, what Soul was actually doing inside this game, fully understanding the fact that he is a Uranus, constantly going for the split push, but he's pressuring the lanes, ensuring that forcing one member of Resurgence to actually rotate down to fight him off. And what happens is going to be Sing, because Sing knows he's the only one that can not only try to do damage, but actually contest against Soul head-on 1v1.
I wouldn't even say it's just that. I would also say, I don't have the right words for it right now, because when we're talking about mind games here from both sides and both
Right.
different
Yeah.
both different angles from either team here, ideally you don't want to lose somebody, and ideally you want to be able to get that side lane pressure. But I think in Soul's mind here, his team isn't necessarily strong enough until he gets Potato in a comfortable position. So they're waiting for him to get to that point. They've got the Endless Battle as well as the Golden Staff, so he's going to continue to relieve pressure until they absolutely need him.
Just really well placed up. But then again, Law, Mountain Shocker is going to be able to reveal that the Law is currently being taken a halfway ticket as well. Pokemon going to be committing that Black Dragon as well. And Soul coming in straight from the backline. So instantly jumps on top of Forza. Forza no way to escape as well. Unstoppable Force coming in from JPL as well. Forza no choice but to run away. But then sadly, Soul still has his flicker. And with the Ionic Edge, he will pick Forza off instantly. Sana trying his best to pick up AR, will get the kill for himself, but JBL with the smart missile will literally bombard him down to the ground. And Jason, all alone, will have to force himself to retreat. Hopefully he can run away, but not in the face of Soul, as he ensures that you will never get out of this fight alive.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that was definitely a very interesting fight there because, I mean, the fact that Resurgence was so spread out like that and they could easily isolate their targets just made them so easy to pick off for the side of EVOS SG. And now, after the first member went down, it just all came crashing down on top of them. EVOS, they're going to be able to get this Lord here. Oh boy, this is going to be it. Let's see whether or not RSG can win this next 50-50.
Man, it's going to be really close as well. Pokemon's going to be able to pick up the Oracle. But what's really amazing, especially before that fight, prior towards that fight as well, we saw Soul pushing out that top lane and slowly rotated down towards his fight, but he ensured that at least in this way, he's still able to get towards his back line. And that's what really amazing, as he was able to get on top of both Jason and Forza at the same time.
Okay, so what's the next? Oh, wait, hold on. They actually get pulled. I'm offended over the wall. JPL now in trouble. Can't seem to get up. He does open the injector into Unstoppable Force, but Sana is right in the middle of the fight. Can they finish him off? No, they cannot. The love taps. He's coming in with the Black Dragon form. Sana, he hops out of the way, and now they're turning their targets onto Sync. He's in trouble. He goes down, and Soul, he's running away to make sure he's not caught on the puppet of the string, but Forza can only do so much as Pokemon going head deep into enemy territory, even under the inhibitor.
Oh, so much damage coming from Aeon as well. But look at it, all three lanes. Big hit so hard, and the top inhibitor will eventually fall into the hands of EVOS SG. The mid and the bottom not too long after, because the Lord is finally here and is clashing and hitting that inhibitor really hard.
Yeah, and now can they finish it off? They can. It looks like this might be it. RSG, one last time. They've got to protect it. Sync is coming back up to life. They should be able to get Lord with no issues whatsoever. But EVOS, they want it. They found their target. They picked him off, and there goes Sana, their biggest member on their side. Forza now has to try his very best, but he doesn't have the items to clear them off. They're pushing on through. They're trying their best. They're trying to delay it, but it isn't enough. The minions will take this game. And there you have it. It's going to be EVOS taking it 2-1 against RSG in convincing and struggling and just pure insanity of a game.
GG WP. Well played coming from EVOS SG, baby. I'm really happy. I'm super happy. And what really went down inside a majority of this fight as well. Finally, JPL definitely game one a little bit. There was some initiation. Game 2, a little bit confidence. In game 3, with his jaw hit, he was like, I'm warmed up, I'm jacked up. Let's just catch anyone I can find.
Yeah, and they did. They just, every single time, every single game, they just increased the tempo by 1, and they pumped it up all the way through, taking their momentum, getting it onto the end. So, spicy game between EVOS and RSG. And it looks like, most predictions were wrong. EVOS was able to take the cake.
Yeah, it really is. Or maybe it's just, it's just on your friend.
It's just analyst predictions.
Yeah, it's just analysts, It's just LaFell. It's LaFell's.
Oh, man. I don't know when it's gonna ever die. The fact that LaFell it's either he's 100% correct or it does the opposite effect. There really is no in between for him.
Oh man, but then again, I'm assuming we're gonna be getting a social media post from Matthew very soon.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But honestly, let's see how far EVOS is going to go, because again, if EVOS is able to bring it all the way and knock Todak down, that means they're going to be sitting in the grand finals. Or if they themselves get knocked down and Resurgence is able to win their next game, then they're going to be paired up once again, and then it becomes an elimination match, and that's a whole new set of stakes.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the Aladdin song in this case, a whole new world. In this case, in that lower bracket, seriously.
Kind of felt like he fell off the carpet, and it's just like, oh no.
Fall off the carpet. I feel like he's still dangling, right?
He's
like,
still holding on with his toes,
he's like,
flying through the sky.
He's like, I'm just in lower bracket. I'm not out of the tournament just yet. I'm still in the playoffs, baby.
Princess Jasmine, don't leave me.
Princess Jasmine is more like Princess Matthew. Don't let me go.
Don't let go. But no, coming back to the tournament itself, like this has been some high quality gameplay. Overall, we haven't seen too much. I mean, okay, to be fair, there was one bad game.
To be fair,
there was a bad game, but that's because it's like, you made the mistake, so your opponent team is looking to punish you, and you just can't play at a lower level anymore. You have to be able to play at such a high level. The simplest of mistakes can be your opportunities to take your opponents out.
Yeah, I mean, still, just a really phenomenal job coming from over this team. This 2-1, really long game.
It really was. It was like, what, 20 minute plus game?
Yeah, and the best part about it, there was so much action happening in the mix. It's not like both of these teams like throwing spells at each other. They're like calculating, positioning, knowing who to go for, who to gun for, who to literally just drop everything just to save someone else, right? I'm just like, yo, that is a lot of epic plays that's happening here. And
it was pretty epic, but I'm most happy that Aeon got to play Eudora and not get hyper punished for it. Because, man, game one was really rough.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's time to throw it over to our analyst to break down this game for your viewing pleasure.
Hello. And Casters salahkan saya, cakap saya pilih Resurgence. Saya salahkan balik Casters, kenapa tak pilih EVOS? I was the first to vote Resurgence. They all see me vote Resurgence. Why you don't vote EVOS? I don't understand. Hiya, simple logic, simple mathematics. Also salah kah? Oh my god. Anyways, this is all just to show that casters all cannot pakai one. Let's look at the highlight yang dibawakan khas oleh Yudu to see what really happened in the game. So dekat sini kita dapat Resurgence, mereka yang ambil inisiatif untuk cakap, okay, we gotta go aggressive early on disebabkan diorang cakap, okay Jason, you pakai Angela, you're gonna be pretty good masa awal because you ada banyak slow and you boleh ikatkan everyone here. And dekat this game, EVOS SG, lagi sekali, I nak cakap, the stand-up player, even though Potato played really well, but dia lebih kepada soul dekat sini. Yes, bila I cakap time soul mati because it's something that I do. I puji orang tu mati. It happens. So jangan harapkan I puji you guys, okay? Dekat sini kita akan pause where kita boleh nampak Soul dia memang fokus dekat bahagian belakang because dia tahu dia punya presence tak tambah makna dekat bahagian depan. So this shows that EVOS SG diorang punya team fight coordination where Pokemon dia akan fokus kepada orang yang ramai sama ada depan ataupun belakang. They just nak cari numbers. While kita boleh tengok Soul dia fokus kepada priority target. It's like, okay, I tahu siapa yang bahaya, I akan pergi dekat dia. Pokemon you attack sesiapa yang group up ramai-ramai. And dekat bahagian belakang, Potato, dia just akan cakap, okay, siapa kejar aku lari, and I will attack. So it's a very easy system untuk orang faham where Soul, dia fokus kepada priority target. Pokemon, just create a lot of action when people are bunched up. And Potato just survive, and then they shot damage anytime that he can. So we will go, kita akan teruskan dengan clip dekat sini, di mana kita boleh nampak, this is the pattern dekat dalam EVOS SG diorang punya team fight. So, honestly, Yuzong, even though dia dah kena beberapa kali, and for a while dekat regular season nampak kurang kuat sikit. But once team dah start adjust balik dengan dia punya nerf, dia punya cooldown times, diorang dah start boleh perform balik because they understand, okay, as long as I play around with my cooldown, I boleh menang the team fight because I boleh hit my AoE CC as well as my AoE damage. Over here kita boleh nampak Pokemon dan juga Soul diorang pergi kepada belakang. But instead of pergi fokus dekat sana, they understand that diorang punya focus target adalah Fossa that still duduk dekat bahagian tengah-tengah situ. And Resurgence, yes, Jason nampak a little bit, early game he looks pretty strong. Tapi kemudian dia punya timing Angela ulti, not the best, but I nak salahkan dia 100% pun very hard. disebabkan dia seorang nak kena tengok lagi 4 orang. Anyways, now we're gonna look at the itemization between both teams. And nothing really special in terms of itemization from both of them. Potato over here, he focuses more on damage, but just to make sure no one can run away, dia siapkan Thunder Belt. Thunder Belt, after you gunakan skill, your next basic attack will slow the enemy down. So it's really good to make sure that no one will get away, making it very easy for Yuzon to go inside and make sure he hits all of his skills on basically everyone. Sana 333, the MVP of the losing team. Unfortunately, he still couldn't do much. And Forza in this game, he cannot dish out any kind of damage just because he is always chased by either Yuzong or Uranus. And if you're a marksman, okay, you marksman, and then you kena kejar, and then you harapkan you punya team untuk tolong you, tapi you punya team tak tolong, there's really nothing much you can do as a marksman, right? So Ruby ada, Tamus ada, Baxi ada, and also Angela ada. All of these guys, they can actually protect you, but that was not what happened in this game. Soul did pretty well, Potato as well, as long as he just keeps on surviving and he just keeps on dishing out the damage, they're pretty good. So, ini itemization daripada kedua-dua team. Jom kita tengok kita punya post-game stats untuk nampak the damage from both of the teams and apa impact yang diorang bawa dekat dalam game. 10,000 gold difference daripada EVOS dan juga RSG. RSG bawah 10,000. EVOS managing to get the upper hand in terms of gold. Tower 10 untuk EVOS dan cuma 4 untuk RSG. 1 Lord untuk EVOS untuk pastikan mereka confirm boleh endkan game. The rich guy, Potato, 825 gold per minute. The carry, Forza, dapat keluarkan banyak damage. But still, kalau you mati, you tak boleh nak buat apa-apa sangat. 62,000 damage yang dikeluarkan. Sandbag sana 96,000 damage yang di-absorb. Dan Forgotten One, JPL dengan 10 assist. Now let's look at the damage numbers from the side of RSG. The highest damage is of course is Shame, the 62,000 damage. But the thing is, the rest, they didn't even break the 40,000 mark. The closest that they could get was 36,000 on the Tamus. Now let's look at EVOS SG damage numbers. I would say it's pretty good across the board. Most of them hit 40,000, almost reaching 50,000. Yuzong 48,000, 49,000 for the carry, and 43,000 for Uranus. So we can see that they did every single of the damages, they did what they had to do. Even Eudora, 35,000 damage able to dish out. So honestly, EVOS SG, they just played really well as a team, and RSG, they could not keep up. So that is the numbers from both of the teams. Let's pick this up because we got more games right after this. So selepas ni kita akan tengok MVP untuk game ketiga. The game winning MVP between both of those teams. And just untuk reminder itu itemization tadi untuk siapa yang nak screenshot last minute, well there you go. Kita punya production team, they're very nice like that. Anyways, MVP of the game. Akan jadi persoalan, siapa yang akan diberikan, and MVP itu adalah Soul yang menggunakan Uranus. Walaupun Potato menggunakan carry dapat banyak damage, but the thing is, Soul, dia yang create the interruption. Dia pergi ke arah belakang. Dia survive dia punya lane. Berapa kali Soul kena gank. Even though he got ganked, as long as he manages to survive, he dodges out the I'm offensive from Ruby, as well as the damage coming out from Eastern Shin. As long as he's able to do that, he will be winning the lane. And the thing is, after winning the lane, he transitions it to make sure that he disrupts the enemy's lineup by making sure that Forza could not stay in the team fight. So, 3-1-10 match KDA, 3,200 damage per minute, 22% team gold earned, as well as the itemization. He used Enchanted Talisman to make sure that he can sustain his mana, as well as Oracle to help boost all of his HP regeneration abilities, as well as Dominance Ice untuk pastikan sesiapa yang dekat attack speed slow, as well as movement speed slow. Congratulations kepada Soul kerana menangkan game ketiga untuk EVOS SG. And tanda juga pada EVOS SG kerana menang the 3-game series, menolak Resurgence turun balik kepada lower bracket. So, this is the MVP of this game, and selepas ni kita akan tengok interview bersama dengan player kita tadi untuk tengok sedikit diorang punya insight. What do you guys really think about it? So, macam mana pun kita akan terus masuk ke dalam interview sekarang ini. And we're going to interview both teams. So, first of all, guys, I gotta say, it was an amazing game. And I'm gonna pick this up because we have a lot more games. So the first question I do want to ask is to LY4, where the second game it was really rough. What happened to you guys there?
I think we just pretty screwed up our draft, and Evo definitely did a great job out drafting us. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Even through the draft, we can see that it was pretty rough. So again, picking this up, Soul, you played really solid today, and that was amazing. So how does it feel for you guys? Even though there was a lot of talk about you guys retiring, but you guys won this game against Resurgence. So how does that make you guys feel?
We feel happy because Resurgence is one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. So to bring ourselves here, yeah, we definitely feel happy about it. Although it was a very close game.
Yeah, and it was a very close game, but I would like to say my personal apology to LY4 as well as all Resurgence, because I voted for you guys to win, and we know how that goes. So it was not your fault. It was just me. I'm really sorry.
I voted myself too.
Oh, yeah. So it's your fault. Okay, I feel good now. I feel good now. Thanks, man. Thanks. So right now after this we're going to the lower stages, right? So I have to ask for LY4, for GFAM and SMG, who do you think will win?
Honestly, SMG has been on a very good form recently, so I think I will take SMG to win.
Oh, very spicy, SMG. So GFAM not going to be invited for the next season. And now, Seoul, the other team, Bosco and Orange Lure. I don't think that's going to be easy as well, but who do you think will actually proceed to the next round?
I think Orange has been playing more solid as a team compared to Bosco. So for me, Orange.
I really like using the pun, solid, amazing. I love that. So thank you for both of you guys for joining this interview. But since we have both of you guys here, LY4, do you have anything to say to your fans, as well as LY4? Do you have anything to say to your fans as well as this guy over here, this Soul guy?
To Souls, don't worry, we will come back to the upper brackets to fight you again. So make sure you stay in the upper brackets. And to all our fans, thanks everyone who has been supporting us. Even though we had a disappointing performance, but don't worry, we'll come back stronger.
Pretty good. Thank you very much, LY4. So, anything you want to say to the loser that just lost just now? Like, any opinions?
I'm really looking forward to fight RSG again. I think it will just show the pride of Singapore in our matches.
Oh yeah, you Singaporeans are pretty good. But yes, thank you for both of these guys. Thank you for being a good sport, for having the interview at the same time. But that is it for the interview. We have to move this along because we have more games for today. Thank you, Soul. Thank you, LY4. I make sure I don't screw up the. It's very disorienting. Okay. Anyways, congratulations to EVOS SG managing to stay in the upper bracket, but it's still not the end for RSG. They still have a chance for the lower bracket. If they keep winning, they can stay alive. If they lose, that's it. So, macam mana pun, selepas ni kita kena tengok siapa yang akan bermain. And match seterusnya adalah LY4, where he's looking very confused like, wow, what happened over here? Yes, untuk semua yang tak tahu, lepas ni LY4 seorang je akan bermain, tetapi Orange Love Esport will be going up against Team Bosco, where dua-dua tim, I would say, ada peluang bagus untuk menang Team Bosco. Very memeable team. Semua orang selalu berbual pasal dorang. Game yang Team Bosco tak main pun ramai orang akan cerita pasal Bosco. And Orange Love Esport, Malaysia plus Indonesia. A very good dynamic. Indonesia, very good region for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. So maybe something good will happen in this game. But it's not just for laughs and giggles. Game ni sebenarnya sangat serius sebab tim mana yang kalah, mereka akan hentikan perjalanan playoff mereka sekarang juga. So, very stressful situation untuk mereka berdua. Kalau Bosco kalah, Bosco dah balik bungkus, go home. Sama juga dengan Orange Love Esport. So, dua-dua tim tak nak kalah. Kemenangan dekat sini adalah sangat penting. Anyways, anda dah nampak dua game untuk hari ini. Tetapi, match seterusnya adalah match lower bracket. For everyone at home, make sure you guys stay safe because the COVID-19 situation is still getting very serious. Make sure you guys don't go out any unnecessary, and make sure you guys always sanitize your hands. Anyways, my name is Lafel. You guys are watching MPL-MY SG Season 6 Playoffs. We will go to a short break after this, but after this, we will be watching the lower bracket game. So we'll be back right after this.
Want to hook up?
Wait, what?
With Yudu. Being with Yudu is like customizing your car exactly the way you want it. Imagine doing that to your mobile plan. Anywhere, anytime. Like here. Oops. And even when you're in bed.
Wait, what?
Yes, just download the Yudu app and customize your mobile plan exactly the way you want it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Inside Mobile Legends. We have prepared a comprehensive update, aka Project Next, for the new season to come. Don't forget to check it out on September 22nd when the update goes live. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Starting with the updated battlefield. First off, we have added special siege minions to the side lane minion waves. The siege minions on the side that is close to the first turtle spawn, aka the turtle lane, will provide 50% extra EXP, whereas the siege minions on the other side lane grant the player 50% extra gold. However, all the special siege minions will return to regular starting from the 8th minion wave. Moving on to the defense towers, we have added a shield to every outer tower. In the first 3 minutes of the game, if the player or the friendly minions attack the enemy outer tower, the player will in return get gold. The amount of gold to be obtained is determined by the damage dealt to the enemy tower and the number of allies around. Moreover, we made drastic changes to the jungler position. In the new update, only the player who's equipped with the battle spell Retribution can purchase jungle items. Once the player has purchased a jungle item, the EXP obtained from minions will be reduced in the first 3 minutes of the game. We've also made some major changes to the jungle buffs and some of the equipment items. We will leave those for you to find out later. In the previous Project Next episodes, we have introduced you to the skill adjustments for 6 heroes: Mia, Eudora, Layla, Saber, Zilong, and Alucard. Apart from them, Alice has received a revamp as well.